Well, hello and welcome to the Ram Show. It is Sunday, May 20th, 2018. Back again this week. Zach, how's it going, I guess?
Okay.
um, ooh. My color looks really off on my webcam. I don't know why. There's not much I can do about it. Actually, maybe. I wonder. That's better. It must like. Now I look yellow again. Oh, that looks better. Okay. How much, Zach? You don't know much about film, do you?
No,
It's doing it again. I'll have to
basically nothing.
basically nothing. So if I said the term white balance, you'd have no idea what I'm talking about, would you?
Pretty much. Yep.
Oh, Joe's not watching. Joe would know. I would hope he would know what white balancing is. So white balancing basically is well, have you ever watched something on TV and it just didn't look colored correctly? Like it had like a tint to it that was either like blue or yellow or like it just didn't look right.
Um, can't say I remember ever running into that.
Okay, well, most of
But
the time people on TV know what they're doing, but
yeah, that's probably something to do with.
if you ever run into that, basically what's happening is white balancing basically tells the camera what is exactly white. And so if you don't white balance, you can get off colored video, which I think is what's happening with my webcam right now. Because, like, the background looks very, very yellow. It doesn't look correct. So, anyway, I'll have to play with that at some point. So, oh yeah. So, this is ironic. Normally, Zach is on before I am. That just seems to be how things have been working lately. The one day I am actually ready to go ahead of time is the one day that you were late.
Late by like 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Dude, you were late by like 5.
What? No.
Yeah. We start at
It's
5:30, dude.
5:37 right now, and I have not been here for just 2 minutes.
Mm, it's been a while. Anyway, okay. Yeah. I should change the start time to 5:30-ish. Because that's
That
what it seems to
like
be every
seems
week.
good to me, I guess.
That's what it seems to be every week. So, ooh, new graphics this week for the show. I've worked on some new graphics. Not that Zach will care because he never actually goes back and watches the show.
Oh, I don't need to. Why would I want to do that when I'm here? You know?
Well, yeah, but I mean, whatever.
Nah, man. I'm good. I'm here. I don't need to.
He just doesn't care about the production side of things. I guess that's more my area, anyways. So, anyway, yeah, because if I asked you to produce the show for a week, you'd be lost, wouldn't you?
I would probably tell you that we're just skipping it then.
Okay, this is bothering me. The color is. I wonder. Because now it's like pink. Everyone at home is like, what is going on? Okay. I have no idea what's going on. Whatever. I'm over it for this week. Nothing can ever go right. I am just finding that seems to be a common trend with the show. Man, my webcam is freaking out though. It's like changing the white balance all over the place, but anyway. Cuz now everything looks kind of like it has like a pink tint to it or whatever. But not much I can do about it. All right. Let's get into topics for this week. Oh yeah, that's right. You don't use Google Chrome, do you?
No.
Well,
I use Firefox.
oh my goodness, I've got way too many tabs open now. Okay. Do that. Find the correct yeah, okay. So, Google Chrome is, well, maybe yes and no. Okay, so when you browse a website, Zach, how can you tell if the website is secure? Meaning it's encrypted.
Well, it will often have a little icon up in the address bar in most browsers, or you can look for HTTPS.
Yeah. So, something that looks similar to what this is right here on your screen. So, basically, here's the thing, and I don't quite understand why Google is doing this, but Google is going to be changing the visual cues for HTTPS, which is the secure, websites that have encryption, in Chrome's user interface starting in September. So, sites using HTTPS will no longer trigger the green secure text that usually appears in the address bar on Chrome version 69. So, they're taking away the little padlock symbol. Why? I don't know. So the address bar is literally just going to say the name of the website.
Yeah, that's a pretty good question. Why?
That's what I thought too. So quick refresher on HTTPS. It's a more secure version of HTTP. Basically, all of your traffic is getting encrypted, is what's happening. So yeah, it acts as a secure communication protocol for users and websites, making it harder for eavesdroppers or, hackers, there we go, to snoop on your packets. Zach, please explain to everyone what packets are.
Not units of data, but I guess kind of, yeah, a unit of data that is sent from one computer to another.
Okay, think of it this way, right? You can tell me if this is a good example or not. So, let's say you've ordered something, right? And it's too big to come in one box. So, it'll be delivered to you, but in multiple boxes. So, the thing with internet, or anytime something is moving, anytime information is moving across network, even when you print something, unless it's really, really small. But, well, I don't know. Do you know how much data each packet can hold? I feel like this is something we both should know.
Don't think I do.
But basically,
we could know in a moment of Google, but
please do that for me. I'm curious. I will continue. So basically, a packet can only hold so much data at a time. And so if you have a piece of information, let's take, say, a website, for instance. So basically, the website is made up of a bunch of ones and zeros. That's how everything on the computer world works, basically. So many ones and zeros can fit into one packet, or say one box or whatever, right? And if the website can't fit into that one packet or the one box, then it creates another packet. And in that case, it'd be like having a second box or whatever. And then all that information gets sent to where it needs to go, and then it gets put back together. That's a really cut down version of kind of how the internet works and packets and things like that. But basically, as they're moving through, they can be intercepted, and somebody who's not supposed to have access to that stuff can get access to that stuff. So the idea behind HTTPS is that it encrypts that data so that anybody who happens to get it can't really see what you're doing, because they don't have the key to be able to unscramble it, basically. And we've talked about encryption before and stuff like that. But anyway, did you happen to find it, Zach?
The absolute limitation of a TCP packet size is about 64 kilobytes.
Ooh, that's not very big at all.
Most are not that No, but most packets are not that large because other protocols are much smaller.
Really? And so, well, okay, so that's TCP. What about UDP? Is that the same?
Do not know.
Okay, so TCP and UDP, those are both protocols basically on how data travels through the internet and stuff like that. So, way more technical than we're going to get into in this show. If you understand it, you already understand it, and if you don't, you'll probably get lost. Maybe not. But anyway, so hang on. I lost my spot. So your data is kept secure from third parties, so most modern sites are employing this technology, including our own website, techbmedia.com. We have SSH encryption on our website. Using TSL, or Transport Layer Security, the underlying tech behind HTTPS to do this. Don't ask me how HTTPS works. I have no idea. I just paid some money and it was installed on our website. So yeah, that's a thing that apparently happens.
And that costs extra? No, that's a shame.
It was
that should be standard on all websites.
Yeah, but somebody has to create like all the keys and stuff like that. I think that's where the cost comes in and the convenience of putting it in there for you.
I
And
suppose.
stuff. Because, like, I would imagine that it has to go back to, like, some kind of server somewhere to, like, authenticate itself. Although, see, this is the one thing I'd be interested in looking into is how hard is it to create your own SSL encryption key and algorithms and stuff like that. That'd be kind of interesting. I'll have to check into that. So, our biggest question, or at least my biggest question, I don't know about you, Zach, but why the change? Why would you take this out?
Yep, that seems like a reasonable question.
Well, Google's argument is that users should expect that the web is safe by default. Wait, what?
But I mean that's a good reason, but also it's not safe by default.
That's why I was just like, what? If anything is like, if history has taught us anything, like, haven't we all been taught to, like, basically like the web is not safe at all kind of mentality? Yeah, users should expect that the web is safe by default. I don't agree with that. I don't know about you.
Well, it definitely isn't, so I don't see why.
Unless somebody
you would expect that it is by default.
Yeah, unless somebody. Okay, whatever, Google. Whatever. I do not agree with that. I think
there's some information that we're missing. It feels like a wrong decision to me.
I feel like they're getting better. Like, the internet is getting better at security in some ways not too. SSL encryption is a big thing though these days. However, well-presented information allows users to be informed and can be accomplished through minimalism instead of outright removal. Okay, Google's counterclaim is that HTTPS is becoming cheaper and easier to integrate, which is true, I guess. It's time to get to it if you haven't already. Well, we did on our website, so. Yeah, I just don't agree with that statement, though, from Google, that users should, well, I don't know if that, Google's argument is that users should expect the web is safe by default. I don't agree with that. I'm just putting that out there. So, let's talk about web security real quick here and keeping yourself safe and using some common sense. Zach, if I am making a purchase online, what should I always look for before entering any credit card information into the website?
Needs to be secure.
And how do we tell it's secure?
Usually there is a UI indicator or HTTPS.
Yeah, usually there's a this little icon right here with the little padlock. that
Yeah,
says
exactly.
secure.
Some UI
But
indicator.
but apparently, eventually in Chrome, it's just going to be the name of the website.
Yeah, that's kind of silly. I mean, I'm sure you could install an extension that will revert it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this says in October, sites visited with Chrome 70 that don't have HTTPS certificates will trigger a red "not secure" label when entering text. Okay. Why not just keep it in
Well,
the
I guess
address
that's
bar?
reasonable.
Yeah, but why not just keep it in the address bar? Like,
No.
yeah, I don't know. Okay, eventual treatment of all HTTP pages in Chrome. Okay, so it kind of looks like, so it's got like a little triangle, or a triangle with an exclamation point in it, all in red that says "not secure," and then it has the name of the website. But I don't know if that's just when you're, I think that's just when you're typing it in. I don't think it stays there. Which, okay, I guess. So it sounds like what they're doing is they're removing the lock icon that just sits there when you're on a website. And so that won't even exist, I guess. And sites that aren't encrypted with HTTPS will show the icon that says it's not, but only while you're typing it, and then it disappears after you're done. Okay, fine, whatever. I don't agree with this. I think that it should be up there prominently to, kind of be like, hey, this website is not secure. But apparently, what do I know? So, yeah, so that's the thing that's happening with Google. Can't say I agree with it. I don't know where you stand.
I guess that could be something worse, I guess.
I was under the impression at first that they were taking it out completely, and I was like, what the heck? Why would you take it out completely? But yeah,
but it kind of seems like an unnecessary change. Like there was nothing wrong with it, was there?
Yeah, exactly. There was nothing wrong with it. So anyway, oh crud. Did I either I tapped on the wrong thing? Oh no, that was the right thing. I just apparently don't know what I'm doing with the show this week. Which is funny because I'm the one who put the show together, but anyway. Time for Microsoft news. Let's get into it. So, last week we talked about Microsoft's epic fail. That was... Oh,
is that with the Surface screens?
Yeah! We talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah! We talked about the Flickergate is what they're calling it.
Flickergate. That's pretty awesome. Okay.
So, I don't know how much a Surface Pro 4 goes for, but I'm imagining that they're not cheap because, Microsoft is kind of like the Apple of Windows, basically.
Yeah, they've got the Microsoft tax.
Yeah, I like that. Surface Pro 4. I'm curious to know how much these things are going for here. Let's see here. Microsoft Surface Pro. Oh, wait, no, I don't want Pro. I want the, I want the Surface 4. Here we go. Buy Surface Pro 4. $800?
How many dollars?
800. Oh, that's awesome. Out of stock.
Yeah.
Let's see here. 12.3-inch pixel screen display, touchscreen, Surface Pen sold separately. Of course it is. Let's see here. Where are the tech specs? Oh, here we go. Tech specs. Okay. Windows 10 Pro. Let's see. 12.3-inch screen. 6th gen Intel Core M3, i5, or i7. Really? 6th
Did you say
gen?
6th gen?
Yeah. Really?
What?
6th gen? 6th gen? For
Jeez,
$800?
you got that Microsoft tax on there, but you can't even get the latest hardware. Dude, they're basically pulling an Apple here. Nice 2-year-old hardware.
Oh, yeah, you want to know what's even better?
Nice 2-year-old hardware for more than what today's hardware is even worth.
You can either get it with how much do you think the base model memory is?
Oh god, probably like 8 gigabytes or something.
Not
stupid.
even.
What?
4
Four?
gigs. 4
What?
gigs.
4 gigabytes of memory
Okay.
in 2018.
Think about
Are you
it though.
joking?
Think about it though. Okay, it is basically a tablet.
Okay, tell me, how much does this base model cost?
Presumably starting at $800.
$800 computer with 4 gigabytes of memory? Get out! And a 2-year-old processor. Oh my god.
Hey, you do get
Microsoft, what is
802.11
wrong with
AC.
Oh my god. That is so stupid. Who in their right mind would pay $800 for
People who are
I
misinformed.
don't care what kind of form factor it has. I don't care how thin, and I don't care if it's as thin as a strand of hair. It's not worth 800 with that kind of hardware inside.
Okay, at least it has USB 3.0.
Yeah, who cares? Everyone has USB 3.0 now.
Oh, it has a headset jack, a headphone jack.
Oh, sorry, I changed my mind. It's totally worth every penny now.
Micro SD cards,
I'm just
reader.
joking.
Mini display port.
Okay, actually, I think I respect for the SD card. That should be a thing that's more.
Okay, I'll give him credit for that. I'll give him credit for the mini display port. Let's see here. I guess I can give him credit for the 802.11 AC Wi-Fi in it.
Oh, that's standard.
Is it today?
Yeah, pretty much is.
Okay. I thought people were still on N, but
I mean, I have a couple of N devices, but
you know what's really weird?
they're quite old.
Do you remember that old blue Dell laptop that I have? That's like Windows XP era.
Maybe, yeah, I do.
The super slow one. It's not slow anymore because it's got 4 gigs of RAM in it. I've actually got it set up with XP on it right now because I'm using it as a retro gaming computer, so I can play like SimCity and stuff like that. Kind of cool.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I got sucked into SimCity the other day. I was actually sitting there. It was like
no.
5 in the morning when I finally was like, okay, I gotta go to bed. Hey, it was fun. I love SimCity. It was like one of my favorite games. So, anyway, you know what's weird about that, right? Windows XP era? It can see my 5G network.
Huh?
I know. That's what I thought. I was like, what the heck? How can this old piece of crap see my 5G network? My HP ProBook 4510S, which I purchased...
Well, that's actually probably dependent on the wireless antenna, not the operating.
No. But what I'm saying,
that's kinda
what I'm
surprising.
saying is for a Windows XP era machine, I'm sure it was the...
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah.
yeah, I guess. I
For
don't know.
that era,
Maybe.
it surprises me that it has a wireless card that can see the 5G network. Because my
Yeah, that does seem a little odd.
Yeah, my HP ProBook 4510S, which is newer presumably, because that's Vista era. Vista was only on it for like a year, and then I upgraded to Windows 7. But that's Vista era. That can't even see, and that's a business laptop too, like a business model laptop. It can't even see the 5G network. All it sees is the 2.4. So I thought that was really weird. I was like, how the heck does this old, piece of crap Windows XP laptop, how can it possibly see my 5G network? Or my 5 gigahertz
Must
network?
have an unusually high-end network card.
Right? Yeah. Well, it does have, like, NVIDIA graphics in it too, but anyway.
Oh, they're probably horrible.
Probably. It was one of those...
Only up until... It hasn't been up until... For a long time, sorry, I should say, the mobile graphics have just been horrible. I mean, some of the newer mobile GPUs are getting a lot better, but for a long time
they really what? You know what? I don't think it's a problem with Discord. You know what I think it is? I think it's a problem with your push to talk.
Nope, definitely not. Definitely not.
We'll see. We'll see. I might have some time this week to actually mess with trying to set up a voice server or whatever, or VoIP server. Anyway, I still can't believe $800 for the Microsoft Surface Pro 4. Oh, yeah, 128 gigabytes, by the way. Yeah, because that's a thing. Anyway, back to the story that is on hand here, right? So Microsoft is now reportedly planning to release a line of cheaper Surface tablets that will allow it to compete more effectively with Apple's iPads. Because the last Surface Pro that they built, went so well. Flickergate here, which, by the way, right? So Microsoft is not even shipping out new devices to people that are having the screen flickering problem. They are sending out
shipping refurbs.
Yes, they are shipping refurbs.
I mean, I guess there's nothing really wrong with the refurb if it works, if it's functional.
Well, you know what?
Quality control.
You know what I bet's happening?
But...
I bet they're getting the old ones in with the screen flickering issue.
And then they're just replacing the screens and shipping them back out.
Exactly. I would imagine so. Hopefully they've done some testing on the new screens, though, to make sure that the problem's not going to happen again. So, otherwise they're going to have problems later on down the line. But knowing Microsoft, they've done something dumb, It just seems to be the way that things work every week. So the company's smaller, lower-cost Surface tablets could arrive as soon as the second half of 2018, said Bloomberg, citing people familiar with the matter. So it's going to have a 10-inch screen. The device would be more diminutive than the 12-inch Surface Pro, as well as being 20% lighter. Because whoop-de-frickin' ding-dong-do.
This obsession with being thin and light at the cost of functionality is stupid.
Well, yeah, you remember the LG
Just
Gram?
gonna say that. Like, why? Look, like, I would rather it just be like a millimeter thicker so that we can have that extra functionality. You don't have to use crappier batteries or ultra low wattage processors just in the name of making it razor thin. Like, does anyone even care? Do people really care that much about making sure their devices are as absolutely thin as possible?
Some people do.
That if you tossed it on a cushion funny, it would probably snap. Seriously?
Well, okay, so in an attempt to make the devices look more like an iPad, Microsoft is also going to be rounding off the edges.
Why does it have to look like an iPad?
Probably to convince consumers to buy it.
If that's something that convinces people to purchase a product, then those are some awfully idiotic consumers.
Okay, I have to give them credit for this. USB-C ports with an S.
Well, that's good.
Not just one, like Apple. Yeah, that was a stupid idea. I don't know who came up with that idea, but they should be fired. One freaking port on your device? No.
Just buy some dongles.
You know what? That was probably some executives whole pitch. Oh, we're gonna put one freaking USB-C port on the entire thing.
Be one, and since it's only one kind of port, people are gonna have to buy dongles from us.
Not to mention, let's remember that Apple was kind of like the first to unveil the USB-C thing too. They kind of started it. Yeah. but it's supposedly going to feature USB-C ports, which, okay, I give them credit for multiple ports. And you want to take any guesses as how much this is going to cost?
I don't know.
Well, they say $400 here. Starting, I would presume. No word on what the tech specs are inside of it. The smaller Surface tablets could help Microsoft to compete better with the iPads unveiled by Apple at its education event in Chicago. Oh. I get it. Okay. So they're hoping consumers will buy it, but I'm sure part of it is, this makes sense here, competing in the education market.
Huh. Yeah, I guess that would make some sense.
That's why I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I could see that. Although, you know, I think a lot of districts are actually, well, it's probably because of the price, but I think a lot of districts are actually going with what the devil are those things called? Chromebooks.
Yeah, Chromebooks are pretty common.
Well, I would imagine that they're probably pretty easy to service for the most part, if they need service, and that it's the cost. That's the big thing. And the simplicity of them. I mean, there's not really a ton that I think you can really screw up with them. Unlike with Windows, you know, where there's like 50 million different settings that somebody can change. So, because I'm sure we've both been there before. You know, do you often get the, well, I don't know about you, but see, I'm the one who gets sent to like all my mom's friends when they have computer problems so I can fix them. I don't know, does that happen to you?
Why, that I have to be tech support sometimes? Well, of course it does.
So I'm sure we've all seen people's computers before where they're just kind of like, why is this setting on? Why is this on here? And what the heck is this? Because I've definitely done that before. Yep. So, oh, my favorite thing is, I can't understand why my computer's so slow. Well, maybe it's the 20 million applications that you've got, you know, set to start on, set to start on startup, you know. Not to mention all the extra crapware that you've got on here. Stuff like that. Because I'm sure you've seen those kind of computers too, haven't you? Or it's just like all the like, oh, the one I absolutely hate is when you open up the web browser and there's like 20 toolbars.
Oh no, not the toolbars. I don't even want to.
I don't think those are quite as big of a thing as they used to be, but do you remember like every piece of like shareware or whatever?
Every piece of freeware would include this uncheck, say no, I don't want that.
Right?
Otherwise it would install it.
Yeah, and it would like change the change your homepage to like some odd. It would change
sketchy website.
Yeah, it would change your homepage. Well, okay, so it would install the toolbar, it would change your homepage, and it would change your default search browser. I remember these. That actually happens to my mom from time to time. When she's looking for things online, she gets very confused with what is a legitimate link and what ones are the, fake links. And so she'll end up clicking on one of the fake links, from time to time. And then all of a sudden, like, everything gets messed up in the web browser. The homepage gets changed. There's,
are you talking about download roulette? Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yep. Exactly. Well, that shouldn't be a problem for you. You use AdBlock, dude.
Yeah, I use AdBlock, actually. AdBlock killed download roulette for me. It's
What about password roulette?
Oh, no. That's still fun.
I need to talk with our hosting company, I think. Like, they haven't upgraded the MySQL installations, I think, on the particular server that we're on. And so we're like a couple versions behind or something. Like, I don't know exactly. But basically, I know that the MySQL, like, install is not a high enough level for us to actually be able to install, because our online cloud storage that we have actually has a feature where we can like integrate like a password manager into it, which is kind of cool. But yeah, the MySQL, like, you know, installation is not a high enough level for us to be able to do that yet. So anyway, but like apparently if I want to like have us there, like, you know, I have to like back everything up just in case, and then like tell them, okay, I need you to move us from this server to this server, which just sounds like a lot of work that I kind of don't want to do right now. So anyway, but oh, okay. So we've talked about smart devices on this show before. Zach, you just kind of don't see the appeal, do you?
No, not until they are much better.
Okay. Well, this will not convince you then. You've heard of Nest before, right?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, the Nest thermostat and things like that. And apparently they have like doorbells and like smart locks too, right? Well, for at least a few hours overnight on, let's see, May 17th. What was May 17th? That was Thursday. So, for at least a few hours overnight on Thursday, owners of Nest products were, unable to access their devices via the Nest app or web browsers. Oops.
Well, that seems like a potential problem.
Yeah, this was according to Nest support on Twitter. Other devices
That seems like a real big problem.
Other devices like Nest Secure and Nest X Yale locks behaved erratically. The as of yet unexplained issue affected the entire lineup of Nest devices, including thermostats, locks, cameras, doorbells, smoke detectors, and alarms. Okay, like 3 of those things kind of pop out at me as being super important. Locks, alarms, and smoke detectors.
Yeah, those things are pretty important.
Okay. I will say this. I love smart devices. I have a Google Assistant in the background. And I definitely enjoy the fact that I can tell it to do something and have it just do it. All without, you know, having to get up or anything. I can just use my voice. It's really, really nice and everything. But even as techie as I am, there are certain devices that I don't think I would ever want to be super techie. Like a smoke detector.
Well, I'm sure eventually they will reach a point where it's fine.
Yeah.
But now
guess.
is not the time. Now is not the time. They're not there yet.
I guess. I
There's
don't know,
too many
though.
issues.
I still think that, like, certain things, especially, like, something as important as, like, your smoke detector, should not be a mobile connected device. I just don't see what the need is for it. Yeah, sure, if you're out and the alarm goes off, you can see it. Okay, cool. Whoop-de freaking ding-dong-do. But yeah. So, importantly, the devices remained, mostly operational. Yeah. Mostly operational. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think mostly cuts it.
Especially with things like alarms and, smoke detectors. They just weren't accessible by any means other than physical controls. You know, just like the plain old dumb devices, those more expensive and more cumbersome smart devices replaced. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so while not catastrophic, locks still worked, for example. Okay. I guess credit to them. At least they didn't brick them like that one company did. Oh, oops. Do you remember
Oops.
that? You remember that story?
Not sure.
I think it was last year.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, there was some smart lock company that like bricked all the devices with a
Oh,
firmware
I remember.
upgrade.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
exactly. And the only way to get them unlocked was like to send the device, like the entire lock, back into them. So, but anyway, this is just a reminder just how precious life can be with internet connected devices, especially when you go all in on an ecosystem. Yeah. Well, as of 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Nest says it's working to bring all devices back online and restoring full ARM, disarm, and unlock, ARM, disarm, and unlock functionality to Nest Secure and Nest X Yale locks. Okay. Update. The Nest app should load again in iOS, Android, and the web. We are still working on bringing all devices back online and restoring ARM, disarm, and unlock functionality for Nest Secure and Nest X Yale locks. We'll post another update when we have more info. Okay. Nest support says the issues were fully resolved in a tweet posted at 2:21 a.m. Eastern Time. Apparently there's still no known like reason why the entire ecosystem went down. So yeah, that's great. Yeah. Interesting. See, like the internet connected world is great when everything works, but when it doesn't, yeah.
When it doesn't, say goodbye to everything. Hope you didn't want that.
You know,
You didn't want that functionality.
I'm a little surprised.
You are gonna have none of that.
I'm a little surprised that, like, I don't know. I feel like these companies should have kind of like a some kind of what am I trying to spit out here? There needs to be some kind of functionality in it where even if you can't, obviously that won't work with some things like webcams. If the internet's down, obviously you're not going to be able to access a webcam. Unless maybe it's locally or something like that. I think there needs to be like a central hub or something like that in your home though, so that even if you do lose connection to, like, you know, the internet, right, you still have something locally so the devices still work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's the other thing that's interesting about that is, like, where it says the devices remain mostly operational. It doesn't say which devices. Let's see here. I mean, I can see the cameras being down. That makes sense. But, like, the locks? That one doesn't make sense. Those, like... Let's see here. They're still working on bringing all devices back online and restoring ARM, disarm, and unlock functionality to Nest Secure. Okay, I guess that makes sense, too. Although, don't most security systems have some kind of, like, backup? Or something like see, this is what doesn't make sense to me. Is, like, there should still be some kind of local failover, you know, kind of thing built in. Like, am I right? You would think. I don't know. What do you think?
Not sure. Not sure.
Because, like, okay, security system goes offline, right? It should still work internally, theoretically, but the way this makes it sound is like it wasn't functional at all. Like you couldn't arm or disarm the system, which doesn't make sense because that shouldn't matter. It should just be that you can't arm and disarm the system remotely. It shouldn't be that, and I could be wrong.
Yeah, like there needs to be some kind of fallback for that.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
If there's no internet, yeah. You're right.
I could be wrong. Maybe there is, but the way this article makes it sound is it makes it sound like, and from the tweet, it makes it sound like there was absolutely no way to do that, which just completely floors me because, like, you're right. You know, as far as I know, a security system, you know, gets installed in the building or whatever, and it, you know, all works locally, and then there's some, I think, well, back in the day, they used phone lines. I don't know if they still do. They probably do use the internet now, but that gets connected back to some kind of data center where it's monitored and everything. So if the alarm goes off, the alarm company knows that it went off and things like that. But anyway, but it should still be able to be armed and disarmed. I don't know. Anyway, all right, moving on. Yeah, that was a major fail on this part this week. Oops. Yeah, I would imagine the PR department's going to have a nightmare once, you know, well, if they're not already having a nightmare. Like, this happened on Thursday. It's Sunday now. How the heck do we still not know what happened? Like, I don't know about you, but I think that's a little unacceptable.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Okay. Some exciting news. Have you been paying attention to the, I hate bringing politics into the show, but this is important. Have you been paying attention to the world of politics?
Not really.
Concerning anything with the internet?
No, I've not. Tell me, what is it?
You have not.
I might have heard about.
Okay, we're talking about net neutrality again.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Oh, you haven't heard, have you?
I've heard a few things about it, but
okay. What have you
not
heard?
For a while.
What have you heard? This is just recent. This is just recent.
I don't know. I've not really heard any. Or well, I might have heard a few things, but I don't remember. It didn't stick in my head.
This would have been Wednesday, May 16th, right?
Probably didn't hear anything then.
Okay. Democrats in the Senate squawked out a majority victory in their effort to save Obama-era net neutrality protection.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Now, okay, this is a win for right now, right? But it's only passed in the Senate. Next, it has to go to the House. So,
one more hurdle,
right. So, if it passes in the House, then basically Ajit Pai's plan to destroy net neutrality is, you know, gone. So, this is important now, right? So, net neutrality still can be saved, but we basically have to, you know, annoy the crap out of our, you know, representatives in the House now to basically, you know, vote for it, in favor of it, and not against it. So, yeah, a vote on the resolution to turn back the Federal Communication Commission's repeal of net neutrality passed the Senate Wednesday with a final tally of 52 votes in favor and 47 against, which, okay, yes, it passed, but I do not like those numbers right there, okay? I would like to see more in favor and less against, because 52 and 47, those are pretty close.
Yeah, a little close for comfort.
Exactly. And that's just in the Senate. Imagine the House, which is controlled by the Republicans. Well, actually, I think both the House and the Senate are controlled by the Republicans right now. Anyway, so Democrats are using the Congressional Review Act to try to halt the FCC's December repeal of net neutrality. The CRA gives Congress 60 legislative days to undo a regulation from a federal agency. Simple majorities are needed in both the House and the Senate, as well as the president's signature to roll back the FCC's vote. Oh, great. All right, so...
Yeah.
Okay, so after reading that, yeah, net neutrality probably is kind of screwed. Maybe. So, assuming that the House passes it, right, then it goes to the president, who I doubt is going to sign it, because he's the one who put Ajit Pai, you know, in as the head of the FCC in the first place. So,
probably not going to go well there.
I don't know if it goes back to Congress then, and they can overrule it. I don't know how all that works. Anyway, so all 49 Democrats in the Senate supported the effort to undo the FCC's vote. Let's see here. Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine, John Kennedy of Louisiana, and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska crossed party lines to support the measure. Collins had pledged her support months ago, but it was unclear whether Kennedy and Murkowski would vote yes. The two senators had said that they were undecided up until yesterday, so presumably Tuesday. Oh, but it looks like the measure was expected to pass even without their support because one senator, John McCain, a Republican from Arizona, was not in attendance to vote. McCain is undergoing treatment for brain cancer and is at home in Arizona. Best wishes to him that he gets well soon. Yeah, because I'm not an evil person. I may not agree politically with him, but anyway. Okay, bringing too much politics into the show. Let's see. The bill passage represents a major victory for Democrats. The net neutrality rules would pass a Democratic-led FCC, which passed a Democrat-led FCC in 2015, prevented broadband and wireless companies from blocking or slowing internet traffic.
I'm sure we know all about that.
Yeah. So this is just the beginning of a legislative process to prevent or to preserve net neutrality rules. The effort still faces an uphill battle in the 435-member House of Representatives. Where currently only 160 Democrats have pledged support for a similar House resolution led by Representative Mike Doyle, who is a Democrat from Pennsylvania. And then, of course, there's the president who needs to sign the resolution. Of course, our president made no secrets of his ambitions to roll back Obama-era regulations, signing 15 CRA resolutions since he took office to do just that. So it makes it unlikely that he's going to sign the CRA to restore a regulation adapted under his predecessor. Let's see. Hang on. Okay, statement apparently from the White House. We support the FCC chair's efforts to review and consider rolling back these rules and believe that the best way to get fair rules for everyone is for Congress to take action and create regulatory and economic certainty. Okay. Democrats in the Senate say that the momentum is theirs as they move to fight to the House. Okay, this is where we come in. Greatest weapon are the people in the streets. That's us. So, here's what everyone should do. Go to battleforthenet.com and you can put your name and a bunch of other information into here. And it's pretty much set up really easily so you can contact your senators and things like that and basically tell them that you want net neutrality to stay. So... yeah. Holy crap, this is a long article. I'm not going to read through the rest of this. Anyway, final thoughts on this real quick. Net neutrality is good. Go save it, please, because if you don't, we are going to get royally screwed over by the ISPs.
Wait, but I thought they were going to follow the rules anyway. They just want to get rid of them for no reason at all.
So, if I could ask Mr. Ajit Pai one question, which I'm sure he'd find some way to weasel out of it, but the question I've been asking from the beginning is that if we could trust the ISPs to do what they were supposed to do and not royally screw over, consumers, Why did we need net neutrality rules in place in the first place?
You'd probably just end up getting a complete non-answer.
Pretty much. But ask yourself that question, right? If they were doing nothing wrong, then why was there a need for the rules in the first place? And please, 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 let's not make this a political thing. Let's not make this a party lines thing. Okay? Because regardless of whether you are a Republican or a Democrat, that shouldn't matter. It's going to affect you either way. So, it's in your best interest.
It will affect everyone the same.
Exactly. So it is in your best interest, if you don't want to spend more money to access the content that you want on the internet, it is in your best interest, regardless of party lines, to go fight for it, to save it. So, yeah. So, we looked at it. Basically, I don't know how true this really was, but you remember seeing the fake like images of like literally like your internet, service starting to look like a cable package.
I remember that.
Basically, if you want Facebook and you want Twitter and you want YouTube and Netflix, then you're gonna have to pay an extra $10 a month. I don't know how true that actually is, but that could be a very real thing if net neutrality gets rolled back. You enjoy watching Netflix and you have Comcast? Well, Comcast has their own streaming services. So if there's no rules in place and I'm a business, does it make more sense to let my my competition have the same internet speeds as me, or would it make more sense for me to slow down Netflix so that my service seems more what's the word? Enticing. Because that's I guarantee you that's what you're going to start seeing. Things are going to be blocked. Fast lanes are going to be set up. Yeah, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a giant mess.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Here's my problem. Like, here's the problem too, right? Is that everyone, well, not everyone, but people are just going to be like, oh, it's not going to change that much. At first, it might not, but over time, it will. And by that point, once people kind of realize, oh crap, it's going to be too late. So, yeah. Net neutrality is a good thing. Don't let anyone tell you it's not. Because again, I think that's the other big thing, is that people think that net neutrality is a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. It is a good thing. So, anyway. Yeah. We shall see what happens. We shall see what happens, but it is my hope that this just all goes through. This is a big step for net neutrality right here. I hope it stays. But, and you know what? And here's the good thing about this going through Congress, though, Zach, is that if it gets passed through Congress, there's probably less of a chance of it getting repealed again, because there'll actually be like, something in Congress that's actually like, I don't know how the whole net neutrality thing in the first place ended up working. Anyway, so, because that's the other big problem too, is like, one political party is going to be like, oh, okay, we're going to have it. The next is going to be like, oh, we're not going to have it. And then the next is going to be like, we're going to have it. So, there just needs to be rules that are put in place and just kind of say, okay, this is what we're going to go with. Call it good. So, anyway. Yeah. So,
sounds reasonable.
I got a couple other things for this week. Just some quick, quick hits here. Oh, you remember those cool Amazon grocery stores? Or the cool Amazon grocery store that's in Seattle?
Nope.
The one where you can walk in and basically not have to, interact with any humans?
Cool.
You don't know about this?
No.
Okay, it's called Amazon Go, right? And basically what you do, you walk in. Well, you have your phone, right? And your phone is linked to your Amazon account. So you walk in through like these gate kind of things and you scan your phone, right? And then cameras inside of the store track what it is that you're picking up. And then when you're done, you just walk out and it charges you.
And then it shows up at your door.
No. It's a physical like grocery store.
Yeah.
Okay? So you
And the stuff you ordered shows up at your door.
No, you're
right?
not ordering it. You're not ordering it. You are physically picking it up in the store.
Wait, I thought you said you walk out with nothing, but then you get charged and it...
No.
then it
You
would-
walk out without having to interact with anybody.
Oh, okay.
So you walk in. Okay, so imagine this. It's a grocery store, right? Legit on the street.
Well, you were talking about Amazon, so I was like, well,
Yeah.
that means it's just going to get delivered, right? Wait,
Yeah, no.
what? No, that is stupid. You
So,
wouldn't do that. What?
legit brick and mortar building, right?
I understand now. Go on.
Yeah. So, brick and mortar building. So, you take your phone, you scan in, and then all these cameras that are up in the ceiling, like I said, they keep track of what it is that you're picking up. And then when you walk out, it charges you for what you picked up. So, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Amazon is so confident in the system that if you get charged for something that you didn't pick up, you basically just say, I want a refund. No questions asked, and they'll give you a refund. So
Pretty confident, yeah.
like, and that's the thing. If you happen to walk out of the store without paying, like without getting charged for something, then Amazon is also saying, because again, they're so confident in the system that they're saying, if you manage to get something out of the store without it being charged, you get to keep it. It's on us. So, kind of cool. But
That sounds like a challenge. Someone's going to take that as a challenge.
the reason I'm bringing it up is because they are coming to, I don't know how many, presumably just one, but the new cities for them expanding this are going to be Chicago and San Francisco. So, will we ever see them in this area? Well, you might see them in the cities eventually.
Maybe.
Eventually. So, one little other thing here, Google is changing up some of its pricing for storage. Let's see here. Google One will get a new $299 a month option that gets you 200 gigabytes of storage. You can get 2 terabytes of storage for $9.99 a month, and if you want a terabyte of storage, oh, well, that won't exist anymore. There's also going to be other plans for 10, 20, and 30 terabytes. Oh, there are plans for that already, and they're not going to see any changes. Interesting. The cheapest plan is $1.99 a month for 100 gigabytes. Okay. Man, I can't imagine needing 30 terabytes of storage space.
At that point, you might as well just do it locally.
Unless you're like Linus and you want to back everything up off-site. Although he has a backup server, I guess. So, anyway. Yeah. All right. That's really all I have for this week. I don't have anything else. So, yeah. Oh, man. I need to fix the coloring on the camera for next week. This looks horrible. Ugh. No, you know what it is? I don't think it's the white balance. Well, it might possibly be the white balance. Everything just looks really, really warm. You know nothing about warm lighting, cool lighting, do you?
Not sure.
It's just kind of how like the lighting hits, like. And
You're asking me which one I prefer?
Well, no. Like,
or
if you know what it is.
I kind of get what you're talking about.
So anyway, yeah. Maybe that'll be the next thing I like invest a little money in, is getting some decent lighting. So anyway, all right. That does it for this week. I have nothing else. So yeah. So if you like the show, you enjoyed it, thumbs up, please. Get subscribed down below if you haven't done that already. Turn on the bell for notifications, so you get so you get updates whenever we upload a new video. which me and Joe are working on something new. So you might see a video this week, presumably, possibly next week. But it's something that we want to try to do weekly. Anyway, yeah, that's really all I have. So, yeah, thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Comments below if it's more complicated than that. Subscribe if you haven't done that already. Turn on the bell for notifications. And, yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye!